Hi everyone, and welcome to new subscribers to the channel. It's really nice to see you here. And as always, before I start, I like to ask that if these videos resonate with you and you'd like to support the channel, then please remember to like the video, to subscribe, and to share in the comments what resonates with you. It's much appreciated. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about attachment and detachment because this is one of those topics that come up all the time in my conversations, explorations, and in the emails that I receive. And the questions often asked are how to let go of attachments, or why is it so hard to let go of attachments? And so, one of the things that I see sort of quote unquote backfiring from the get go is this very attempt to let go of an attachment and seeing attachment as something wrong, something that we should not be experiencing, or as something unspiritual or unawakened. And it's this very judgment and this kind of attitude, as innocent as it is, that creates and perpetuates this sense of separation. It creates the experience of being at odds with the attachment. And so, because of it, we never come close. We never fully acknowledge it, let alone see what's underneath it. Because underneath every attachment, there's going to be either some kind of fear of loss, or some kind of sense of inadequacy, insecurity, insufficiency. And so the very reason why, despite our attempts to let go of attachment, it persists and it continues to be there, no matter what we do, is because we don't look at what's underneath it. And seeing that what's underneath is either a fear of loss or some kind of inadequacy, insufficiency, some kind of sense of inherent lack isn't enough. Because in fact, we may already know that or sense that. What's needed now is actually allowing ourselves to fully experience it. That very fear of loss, that fear of aloneness, the experience of some kind of insufficiency, insecurity, deepest insecurity. So, whatever it is that we try to avoid, that's at the heart of the experience of attachment, is precisely the very thing that we now want to fully acknowledge and fully experience. But instead of doing that, detachment looks like an antidote to attachment. It sounds like a really good idea. It sounds like a spiritual ideal, something that awakened people do. They're detached. But what I came to see is that detachment is just the other side of the same coin, the coin being the sense of separation, that it's often simply another coping mechanism. It's just another way we avoid something, that we avoid some kind of emotional discomfort, whatever that discomfort may be. And the mind loves to use spiritual concepts and hijack even profound insights and shifts and turn it into a hiding place. And so detachment very often is simply a way to suppress emotional discomfort, to avoid emotional discomfort, to pretend like we don't care, like we're not affected, like we're beyond. But as a result, we may often simply become more and more disassociated and more numb. So, at the core of attachment and detachment is really this mechanism of resistance. The two become simply different ways to cope. And it's really important to see the innocence of that. Because when we then start judging the coping and seeing it as a problem, then again, we create the distance. Then again, we create this sense of separation. We again start seeing it as something wrong, as something that should not be happening. This is why I often talk about a separate self as a kind of one massive coping mechanism. And I underline how innocent it is because it's only when we recognize that innocence that we will be able to sort of soften around it. It's this softening that will actually allow us to come closer to the very things we're trying to avoid and to finally allow ourselves to feel them, to finally fully acknowledge what's really going on with ruthless honesty, but also ruthless compassion. And when we finally come close and then closer and closer and meet fully the truth of our experience, then that sense of separation dissolves. The distance, the experience of distance between an I and an experience collapses. And then collapses to such an extent that there is no sense of separate I left. And when any sense of a separate I dissolves, the experience of attachment and detachment dissolves with it because there is no separate me left there to feel attached or detached. And so, as valid as this question, how to let go of attachment, or why is it so hard to let go of attachment, are both very valid questions. They come out of this need to control and mitigate and do something about what we're experiencing that's underneath both the need to attach and the need to detach. And this is why the question, what is it that I'm avoiding? What is it that I fear? May turn out to be better questions to ask, that they will really illuminate the very things that we need to see.